So, I'll just turn this around.
Yep,
so, this is Jas
and Sher,
and we are live
on location.
Oh my God, I'm so excited
Me
for
too.
today.
Yikes.
It's Doors Open, Winnipeg, 2019, and we are so honored to be at the Dalnavert Museum at 61 Carlton.
Yep.
But you can't mistake it. I mean, it's just the most beautiful thing ever. So if you drive down the street, you know where it is. Jas sitting with us.
Hey, hello.
So did you see the lovely hinges in there?
You know what? No.
What the hell?
Well, because I didn't even look because as soon as I walked in the front door, heavy.
Oh, really?
Not kidding you. I don't know what the heck it is, but I stopped.
Oh. Okay. Did you go in the outside kitchen?
Yeah, I went into
the outside kitchen area?
Yeah.
Did you feel like you're being watched?
Just really heavy.
Oh. Really?
Yeah. Right.
For today's feature, because we're going to be all upper crust like.
Oh, wait, upper crust.
I thou now shall name you Genevieve for today.
Genevieve.
Genevieve.
Okay.
Genevieve.
Hello.
I'm Sherry.
So Jen was with us on our first responder episode. She is with us today, graciously.
And there are sirens happening to go off
Imagine
right
that.
now.
Oh, nice timing.
Yeah.
So annoying.
You made that happen, did you not?
did.
I made a phone call.
I know a guy.
I know a guy that knows a guy.
I know a guy.
Oh, it's
Oh, no,
coppers.
it's down here too.
Oh, and they're coming to see us. Well, hell's bells.
Well, that's how they get to the front of the line. That's how they blew the red light just now.
The coppers.
Oh,
Oh,
look at that.
shit. There.
Oh, he's slowing down, slowing
Yeah,
down.
he's going fast.
Well, that's interesting. Oh, and he turned the lights off.
Popo.
Well,
Anyway.
watch, there'll be like a massive
Sorry,
thing
I'm
will
not
be
dissing.
I know a couple of those guys too, so
Yeah,
I didn't
I know,
do that.
I know.
though.
No. But like I was saying, Jen is with us. She is going to be helping us today. She is our videographer. Is that going to be your official title? What do you want? What's your title? What do you want?
Videographer,
I don't know, wannabe.
capture of
We're going to get
scenery.
you. We're going to, when I said we do the sweat jackets, I'll buy us the sweat jackets. If you can do us the back one.
Oh.
Do one for her, and we'll
Yeah,
go
we'll put her
crew.
name.
Yeah, we'll do all crews.
Crew?
The crew.
The crew.
Videographer. Well, I just introduced myself to a lovely lady in there named Joanne that was standing on the staircase.
Yeah. Was she an apparition?
No,
Do you know for sure?
for sure. She told me her name.
She shook your hand and everything.
She had a
No,
tat?
I didn't want to.
She had a tat. You knew she was real. That shit didn't happen.
No, she told me I couldn't go upstairs.
Right.
So
Oh, yeah.
she had told me that we should come back on a Saturday when she's working, and she'll give us a private tour.
Okay, cool. And we can do that. Like, we went for a quick tour yesterday. It sucks about the video battery. Like, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's shitty.
Way to go, Helga. It's all Helga's fault again.
But I introduced myself to her as your videographer.
For sure.
Good.
Totally.
I'm running on like maybe 4 hours of sleep, so I'm like, yeah.
I know.
Woohoo.
Potato salad. We're going to go have some potato salad.
Yeah.
I know where your mom was. We're going to crash
Yeah,
that
there you
anniversary
go.
party.
Come on down. The more the merrier.
I'll be hungry by then.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
thirsty.
I'm thirsty, yeah.
Thirsty.
about them too.
Wet are the-
But I think I got some very cool pictures.
Okay, cool.
And I'm wondering, like, if we're not allowed to go upstairs,
Right.
why are there lights on upstairs and stuff?
Well, I guess just to set
The
the feel.
volunteers. I look like knobbish. Don't post any. Oh,
T-shirts.
Don't
Get
post
your
any of
T-shirts.
those.
Yeah.
that one's better, at least when I'm leaning down.
See, and the thing was, when we videotaped yesterday, when we had our tour, we had, just to explain to our listeners, we were offered to come down and take a tour of all the floors, or 4 floors,
Yeah.
and it was fabulous.
Bloody lots of stairs
But
in there.
because it was so rainy,
Go in the basement?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Oh,
nice in
that.
the
I
basement.
love the base. It's
Yeah.
comforting. It's warm.
Beautiful wood down there,
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah?
But you see, like, these pictures are even better, and they'll be better with the video, because yesterday it was so dreary, it didn't pick up a lot of the
I
features in the
know.
house, right? Because the video camera doesn't have a light.
Okay.
So, like, today, if it
Yeah, it
being
was
sunny,
dark in
we'll
there.
get you, even though you can only go through the first floor today,
Yeah.
we'll get you to go back through and just, like, pick up.
Stained glass windows.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With the light and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be gorgeous.
Yes, like, even that.
Because
that's
you can't
beautiful.
go in the rooms.
I know.
No, I know
Today,
they haven't
so-
walked up.
We did yesterday.
Mm.
Ha, ha, ha.
Oh, fine.
We'll get you in those rooms, don't you worry.
Don't you worry.
I don't
Get
think
you
I
in
want to
there.
go in.
full.
And you're like, I don't want to go in the room.
I don't think so.
room now. I'm
I don't want to see where the people died.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do. I do. Of course I do.
But
Heck
what
yeah.
that lady was, the girl was just telling us, like, she felt Jack actually touch her back
By his bedroom.
by his bedroom.
He died of diabetes.
Yeah.
Really?
So sad, because in those days they didn't have any ways of
Was it
monitoring
20?
it or anything.
20
Well, no.
He was 20, yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Way too
crying, man. Frig.
Don't. What did I drop? My ghost? Shitty
Oh,
ghosty.
no.
Shitty ghosty. Talking in Latin now. Shit is ghostus.
Shit is ghostus.
Well, we can start recording some of our blurb here while we...
Our blurb?
Our blurby.
You want a blurb first?
So, we have done lots of research here. And it's... I wanted to be concise, and I want to be precise. And I
Concisely
wanted...
precise?
Pretty much. And I wanted to make sure I got all my P's and my Q's and
Your P's?
everything.
Elemental
P's, black-eyed peas.
I really didn't put anything in your coffee.
This is just us. And we are,
What happens to us?
disclaimer,
Seriously?
we're so car ride home to your place there.
Oh.
I said, what's up with all the duplexes in your area? Because, like, you know, like one person would own one side and one person would own the other one. And one would be, like, totally painted black.
And the other one's
and the
white.
other, like, white. It's like, oh, shit, those people do not get along.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, I know they don't.
And I'm driving by. So anytime there's, like, contrast, they get along, they do not get along. They get along, they hate each other. They get along. No, those people, no. And why do you
With a
live
fence
that close?
right through the front
and
yard.
why would you live that close if you cannot even agree on a color?
I know.
Like, seriously.
No choice.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Yeah, so we're just like bantering. We're just like, oh, and then we're.
Funny.
Remember that guy?
Yeah.
So, like I was saying, because we derailed again. We derailed.
That's
Choo-choo.
that's just too easy
I
to
don't know.
derail. My
Yeah,
God.
I know.
That's terrible.
But I did go to the website for Friends of the Dalnavert, and I compiled their information on historical background. So now we're
compiling.
Like, I don't want to stray off the mark because they've done their research.
Oh, yeah.
This is their business. They know. They've checked into things.
I'm going to go off the rails again, too. I'm sorry.
Go for it.
I found it really interesting that when they were talking about the wallpaper and that thing, that they actually found the wallpaper.
That's right.
Like a little chunk of it. And so they recreated it. They got it printed
Everything
up.
was painted over in white in
It
this
was
building when it became
all-
a boarding home.
yeah,
They
it was-
destroyed everything. The wood,
Right.
everything.
So they
Everything
actually
was
found
white.
scraps of paper for that one with
Behind.
the little blue squares in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It's the kitchen area there. And then
They
what-
found
were
a
talking about
manufacturer in
some-
the States and they got them to
Yeah.
recreate it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Plus, they were looking at some sort
But
of
I think it was-
manuscripts or writings about some other stuff.
Right.
In order to.
They looked off articles in the Free Press. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if you went through the kitchen, right, that summer kitchen just
Yeah.
now,
There's-
and the walls have old newspapers and stuff, right,
Yeah.
from that year that this house was built. And there was a big feature on that house. And I guess because it was such a prestigious house at the time,
Yeah.
and the fact being it was one of, 11 houses in the city that actually had electricity and
Yeah.
indoor plumbing, right?
And even
okay.
their stove has got a temperature gauge on it, which was unheard of.
Yeah.
That's like
They
fruit,
had all the
fruit.
They had all the
Yeah.
conveniences. So what I was saying about all these articles, I guess this house was always pretty much well documented in those days. So they had pictures of what the rooms looked like and stuff. So they had
Yeah.
to go back and retrace it to see what items that they had
To make it
in the
original,
rooms,
too.
to make it original.
Yeah.
Because when Gertie, when she sold the house, she sold everything in the house.
She sold her stuffed dog.
Oh
she
my
had
God,
a
that
pet
was horrible.
pug. She had a pet
She had
pug,
him
and when
stuffed
it
and sold
died,
him
she
at a
had him
garage sale for
stuffed.
50 cents.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well, one,
seriously.
why would you
Agree.
stuff your dog?
That's
Like,
not
I
cool.
know, and
Why?
she had him in a cupboard,
Yeah,
a
that's not
glass
cool.
doored cupboard. Poor pugly,
I know, ugly.
little puglet.
So in any event, they were able to recreate everything because
Something's gonna attach to us. today.
No, we're being
Disrespecting.
No,
nice.
ain't gonna
No,
happen.
that
No.
was we're talking about the poor puglet thing.
no,
Come
poor
on,
Puggy.
yeah,
Maybe we'll see him around here.
maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Should have brought some milkworms.
Seriously. Oh my God.
So, okay, so
Okay.
I'll put us back on the track.
Okay, you track us out.
So
Okay.
I took as much information as I could about the Dalnavert based on Friends of the Dalnavert Museum website because I feel that everything that they have is precise.
There.
Look at you.
I know.
And
Just don't rub it with the papers.
I want to cover the historical aspect of the museum. Where's the 200 people that usually show up?
I don't know.
I bet you it's the weather, right?
Well, I
Everyone's
know
probably
everyone's
thinking
waiting to see if it's going to be
raining.
sunny or not, right?
Yeah.
I know.
They're having their eggies and bacon.
Oh, food.
As I'm waiting for my laptop to do updates, panicking to pack it away.
I cooked my child breakfast last night
Oh, did you
at
really?
midnight so that
Man,
he
you're
could
organized.
so that he could have breakfast this morning with his
And
buddy.
you're too. Oh, right, because he had a friend over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Right, so.
But I was so proud about the information because you're going to see the way it flows.
Okay.
I don't want to ruin it, right? So we'll just
Okay.
go with it, how it flows
Go
together.
with the flow.
All right, so I will cover. Do you want to do the first page or
I can do the first page if you like. What do you want to do?
get for it?
Go for it.
Because you
Okay.
have such a beautiful voice, and I'll suck back on my cat.
I don't have a beautiful voice. I sound like a man with a lisp. Okay. Here we go.
Here we
And
go.
we're off. Okay, built in 1895, the Dalnavert Museum is a small Victorian mansion nestled in the heart of Winnipeg's downtown. This unique museum features a day-in-the-life feel as it transports you back to time in the 19th century the second you step inside. It was home to the former Manitoba Premier, police magistrate, and lawyer Sir Hugh J. MacDonald, who was the son of Sir John A. MacDonald and his family. Dalnavert Museum and Visitor Centre is a National Historic Site that is one of the finest examples in Western Canada of Queen Anne Revival architecture. Today the museum fosters engagement in history, culture, and much more. visit us today. Actually, yeah, come visit us today.
Yeah, come visit us
See
today.
how. The Dalnavert Museum was built, when it was built in 1895, it was on Treaty 1 land and was home to former, who said that, police magistrate, okay. History extends beyond 1929 when the MacDonalds left the house. After Hugh John MacDonald passed away, he left all of the home's belongings to Agnes, who moved to the Roslyn Apartments on Osborne Street. Wow.
That's a step down.
Yeah, I know, eh?
Not moving on up, that's for sure.
Since then, the people who owned the house transformed it into a boarding and rooming house. In 1969, which was a lovely year, by the way, it sold to a development company.
Wait, cheers.
Oh, yeah,
cheers,
clink,
cheers.
coffee clink.
Ching,
You're
ching.
out of coffee.
You can't clean coffee, but we try.
The development company intended to make the grounds into a parking lot. Can you
Isn't
imagine
that
if
horrible?
this was
They're going to do this
crap.
place buried under and put it into a parking lot.
all the beautiful wood
we
and
need more
everything
of
in
that.
here?
I know.
Oh, my God.
That's a shame.
Built in 1970s, the Manitoba Historical Society, together with several historical activists, worked with the development company and made numerous offers to buy the house, ultimately succeeding. Working with the City of Winnipeg and other organizations, the Manitoba Historical Society obtained grants to restore the home. John Shivers,
I guess so, sure.
and George Walker led the
I got
restoration.
shivers, they're
I got
multiplying.
shivers, which cost roughly, holy crap, $559,000 and took several
Wow.
years to complete.
I don't remember if I saw this somewhere. I think this house only cost about $30,000 at the time.
I know. I think
Wasn't
I
it?
read that somewhere too. It was very cheap.
$30,000 to build.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah.
And
then-
at the time was
Oh, that was a huge amount
It
of money.
was,
Yeah.
but just you look in comparison,
Yeah.
and then just to
$500,000
restore it,
was like-
$559,000.
Well, restoration would
That
have
would
been
probably
hours
be
and hours and
that would
hours
be like
of
$2
labor.
million. Yeah, to get it right.
Yeah.
But now that's probably going to be like what? That's probably going to be like $2 million nowadays.
Yeah, what, 1969,
You know?
1970?
Yeah. No kidding.
In 2013, Manitoba Historical Society closed the doors of the museum, spurring a group of dedicated and passionate individuals to create Friends of Dalnavert. Oh, Friends of Dalnavert Museum Incorporated. The newly formed not-for-profit organization assumed ownership and was able to reopen Dalnavert Museum in the spring of 2015. Only 2015, eh? Mm-hmm. Today, Dalnavert Museum and Visitor Center is a cultural hub, event center, and along with interpreting the history of the house in early Winnipeg, is the host to educational and entertainment programs. Very cool. You want me to keep going?
Oh,
Or you want to tag team off?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay.
You do too. I do too. Sure.
Okay. Charles H. Wheeler built many homes for prominent families in Winnipeg, along with other buildings such as churches and institutes. While little is known about his early life, he left a lasting impression on Winnipeg. Born in April 1838 at Lutterworth, Northwest. Oh, come on. Leicestershire, England, and was married 20 years later to Annie Wakefield of Fairford, Gloucester, I think. My good Lord. He studied architecture and music in Birmingham, England, and was an architect in England for about 20 years, according to reports. By 1882, he had immigrated to Winnipeg. Wheeler soon worked for James Chisholm. And within a year of living in Winnipeg, his design
sober.
was... I know, but these names are not...
sober.
These
no,
are
that's
not
what I'm saying.
good names,
You
man.
gotta liquor you up to get the pronunciation happening.
I need the flow.
And then she starts talking in tongues in a different language.
His design was chosen out of 44 submissions for the Holy Trinity Anglican Church on the corner of Graham Avenue and Donald Street. After that project, he established his own firm. In 1893, MacDonald approached Wheeler to build Dalnavert.
Nice.
Yeah.
So with Hugh's personal life, in the early years, Hugh John as a baby, yes, before cameras, there were painted portraits.
Mm-hmm.
So there's one in the house. Hugh John as a baby, there were... It's in the verbiage just because I had the picture in here.
Yeah.
So he inherited his father's physical characteristics. He had a small build, reddish-brown hair, clear blue eyes, and the infamous prominent MacDonald nose.
Mm-hmm.
He also grew up to have his father's charm and easy attitude.
Yeah.
You know, MacDonald's name was supposed to be that of his older brother John